Amazon have ordered a brand new TV series based on the hit game God of War. But what does this mean for Stargate? Welcome to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. So if you haven't already seen it, Amazon have ordered a brand new television show to be produced, God of War, which is going to be a live-action adaptation of the popular game God of War, which, as all of us Stargate fans know, the main character Kratos is voiced by Christopher Judge, our very own Teal'c. Now, something you may not know is that this TV series, God of War, is going to be created by Mark Fergus and hHawk Otsby. And as a regular SciTrekker, you will know that we have been basically telling you that Mark Fergus and hHawk Otsby are going to be creating Stargate. But if they're creating God of War, how are they going to have time? Now, this is something that we've known about for a really long time. We knew God of War was in pre-production and Mark Fergus and hHawk Otsby were going to be involved in it in some capacity. We didn't report on it on this channel because it wasn't really relevant to anything that we normally talk about. Now, however, that Mark Fergus and hHawk Otsby are going to be producing Stargate, or at least they're involved, I think it's time that we talked about the God of War television show as well. Now, Mark Fergus and hHawk Oxby have a production company. This production company is called Penguin in a Parker. This is the production company that is going to be responsible for bringing Stargate back to our screens, and is also the company responsible for bringing God of War to our screens. Now, just like any other production company, think like Sony, Disney, Warner Brothers, anything like that, they don't always just have one project on the go. Now, whilst Mark Fergus and hHawk Oxby are the names associated with Penguin in a Parker, there is a whole production team behind the scenes as well. Now, something we have to keep in mind that although Mark Fergus and hHawk Oxby are at the moment developing a new TV show, there's no guarantee that any one of them is going to be the showrunner. That could be passed off to someone else. However, we do have contacts in and around MGM, and we're told that hHawk will be leading the God of War production, and Mark himself will be leading Stargate. But as I said, this is all subject to change. We don't know anything for certain just yet. As Mark and hHawk are still in negotiations with Amazon, we don't know for certain who is going to take the lead with Stargate. We don't know who the next Brad Wright is going to be. Which leads me on to another point. Brad Wright could still potentially be involved in Stargate. Mark Fergus and hHawk Otsby are currently developing a new television show. It doesn't mean they're going to show on. It doesn't mean they're going to be behind the camera in any capacity. They could pass that on to someone different, and potentially that person could be Brad Wright. He could be involved in some capacity. Now, this isn't a rumor. This isn't something that we've heard. We don't know for certain who is going to be involved. This is just hypothetical, what could potentially happen. But I personally have had a few messages on Twitter from people who know that we talk about Stargate here on this channel and know that we broke the news about Mark Fergus and hHawk Oxby doing Stargate. And they messaged me directly, basically saying, well, these two are going to be pretty busy. How are they going to get the two done? And it all ties back into the fact that they have a production company, a whole team of people who are going to be dedicated to a show in particular, whether that's a team for God of War and then a team for Stargate. There were so many variables when creating a new television show. You have to think of visual effects. So there's going to be a whole team based on that. There's going to be a whole writing team. There's going to be directors. You're also going to have producers. They might also bring in people from outside of the company. Maybe Brad Wright in this instance, who was going to consult on the development of the show. All of this is possible, and all of this is something that is going to happen regardless. They're going to build a team of people dedicated to a specific show who are going to help develop it. Whether or not that involves Brad Wright, we don't know for sure. But it is something that we're looking closely at, and hopefully that is something that comes into fruition. I mentioned it in the live stream last week that Mark Fergus and hHawk Oxby have gone through a hell of a lot of trouble to create a Bible, to make sure that they're still within continuity for a new Stargate series. They did that off their own backs. And Amazon loved it. Amazon ultimately chose them to develop the new show. They went through a hell of a lot of trouble to do that. I can't see them, personally, I can't see them not drawing on the expertise of people who have already developed Stargate. Brad Wright, Joseph Malozzi, Robert Cooper. And I can also see cast members from the past coming back in. Amanda Tapping, Richard Dean Anderson, Joe Flanagan. And even David Hewlett, like I can see all of those people coming back in some capacity. So does the announcement of the God of War TV show mean Stargate has been put on the back burner? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Stargate is still going to be pushing forward. We are still going to be getting a TV show. It's just all going to be managed by Penguin Inner Park, the production company, who just so happens to have multiple projects going on at once. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit subscribe and press the bell notification so you don't miss a single video. Whilst you're down there, consider becoming a fully fledged SciTrekker. Hit the join button down below. There'll be no video from me next week as I will be taking a break for the Christmas period, but I'll be back just before the new year. So to all of the SciTrekkers, Merry Christmas and have a fantastic new year.